There's a few things I forgot to mention on the last video. So they've been hitting me with a lot of dues lately. Well, the last couple days not so much, but up until then they still do it every day. But a few days ago or whatever, it's happening a lot for like several days. Like happening multiple times a day. And then the other day, this bird flew up in my window, or like by my window. Like I look up, I'm just sitting here and I look up and I see a bird fly by. And at the same time, there's a frequency, a dew hitting me. At the same time as the bird. And then there's been a lot of planes flying over lately, flying over my apartment. So I'm sure there's other things I forgot to mention, because there's always things that I forget to mention and then I remember later. It's just a million things. I haven't been recording as much lately, so, and then like my phone battery is draining faster and faster. I think my phone is like dying. My phone battery is like degrading. But they'll also make it drain faster too. Skynet will make it drain faster, but it's been cold outside. It's been like 30, 40 degrees outside, so when I go outside, my phone battery drains really fast. And like they'll take advantage of it. They'll be stalking me hardcore just because I can't record, or like when I don't record, it's like they stalk me harder. Generally speaking, they still stalk me hardcore when I am recording, but it's like way more in my face when I'm not recording, generally speaking. And then especially at moments like when I can't record. They still stalk me pretty hard when I do record, though. It's just nonstop. Like, most of the time when I record, they'll disappear at the start of the video and then they'll come back. Or there'll be a lot less of them, or there'll be a lot less blatantly, obviously synced up, and then there'll be more obviously synced up 2 minutes later or whatever. But like at the start of the video, there'll be a bunch of stalkers driving by me right before the video starts, like right up until like it counts down on Instagram Live. It's like 3, 2, 1, and like at like 3 there'll be like a bunch of cars synced up around me, and then like they'll all just like vanish by the time it hits 1. Or like the same thing with the sirens outside. If I go live to record sirens outside my apartment, they'll just fade out by the time it hits 1. But like at 3, you can hear it, but then it'll just fade out. So like at the start of the live stream, you don't hear it. But like right before that, they're stalking up. So that's just the heater in my wall clicked, and the AC thing outside my apartment turned on, and there was somebody walking up to the intersection all at the same time when I walked up to my window, and then a door slammed in the hallway, and they're gonna walk behind me right now. And there's this truck coming in the parking lot. He's probably synced with him. And I heard a door close in the hallway, and this guy walked out outside. Oh, and then the person that walked up when I walked up to my window is crossing the street now. And there's a bunch of sync things happening. And then I saw a synced crane this morning, construction crane, like dropping something synced. One day, like a couple years ago or whatever, I saw a crane that was just like moving back and forth, synced with cars driving by and stuff. Like a burst of cars will drive out and the crane will just at the same time, and it just kept doing it. So, trying to think of what else crazy happened lately, because I'm sure there's something I'm forgetting. Every time I walk by schools, there's children screaming synced. I know I've said that a million times, but it happened again yesterday, so. It's just always weird when it happens. Because they'll be doing it, like, all the way up the street, too. Like as far as you can hear, basically. They'll just be screaming, like, as I cross the intersections and stuff. And then when I walk by the school, they'll be screaming when I walk by. And then they'll be, like, running up to the fence next to me, synced. Just, like, staring at me and, and screaming synced. It is weird. There's that video I did yesterday where all those children were screaming synced a bunch of times and you could hear it, and then they were running up synced. There's the children running in front of me at the same time as the children running up next to me on the sidewalk at the place where they always sync, right at it. And then they were screaming synced a bunch of times before that, and then they're just like walking in front of me on the sidewalk, and it's probably because I'm recording, and they send children out in front of my camera when I'm recording, and then they're like, "You're recording my children, you're a pedo." But I don't, though. I just, sometimes they'll run out right in front of my camera, though, but, like, on that video, I just, like, turn my camera really fast. You can't see their face, but I just turn it fast so you can see that there's children stalking me. There's this white SUV driving by me right when I walk up to my window, and then he's syncing with other cars on the street. But yeah, it's just psychotic and weird how there's always children screaming synced. And they're just like, "Ah!" And then, like, sometimes they'll be saying directed conversation things. Like, one day, I walked by this school, and I think this kid was saying he said my name when I walked by. And then like my name's Chase. I think he was like, I'm gonna chase you or something. I forget. But like then there's this other day where I was crossing the street and this kid said something. I don't know what he said. They said something. They said some word or somebody's name or something, and then they said it right at the curb when I walk up to the intersection, and then they said it again right at the other curb. They said the same thing at each curb. It was like a child in a school out at recess. This guy walked out synced with this whitey driving out of the parking lot synced, and then it syncs with another whitey, and then there's another whitey. And then there's this loud engine sound. It's probably the sync head. And then there's these cars that are synced to each other. And then the guy that walked out synced is walking up the sidewalk, and he's gonna do another sync in a minute. But yeah, it's like they'll send their battery's dying. Hold on. It's like they'll send their children out in front of my camera, and they'll also, like that video yesterday where the children were stalking me. They were like across the street from me before they ran out in front of me, and there was these two cars across the street from me, and they were both taking off at the same time as each other, and the children are like on the other side, like on the sidewalk behind the cars, and like my neighbor's toilet is flushing sink right now, and like it's like they want me to point the camera over at the cars with the children behind it, so it's like it looks like I'm recording the children, but I'm recording the cars. They'll do shit like that with the children stalkers. Like, I swear there's just somebody nearby recording me, and they're like, look, he's recording children again. But I'm not. I'm recording the cars that the children are behind or whatever. Do you hear the engine sound? But I think that's all I have to talk about right now. If I remember anything, I'll be back. Don't sing.